situated. One thing, guys, they can hear everything, so like shuffling papers and stuff, kind of keep that to a minimum. Okay, start scenario.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Yeager, and I'd like to thank you for meeting with me this evening. I am your son's first grade teacher.
Pause.
Great to see you. Thank you for taking the time.
It came, did you hear the tape go out?
But then it came back.
Yeah. Resume.
Hi there.
Okay.
I'd like to first start off by saying your son... Sorry, that was my phone. I'd like to first start off by saying that your son is doing exceptionally well with math and his science activities. And I'd also
Sorry,
like...
I'm making sure my phone's turned off as well.
Sorry about that. I thought I had my ringer
No, that's
down.
okay.
I'd also like to add that your son is a great asset to our classroom. He makes friends very easily and has wonderful
Good.
communication skills.
Well, that's so good to hear. That makes me feel great.
I'm glad to hear that. I'd like to ask you, what are your concerns with your son with reading?
Well, I think that, it has taken him a long time to really pick it up. And, when he has trouble with something, he can be a little resistant to really putting in the work to learn. So, I've been trying to help him understand that, just because things are tough doesn't mean it's not possible. You can do it. It's like, for him, it's like playing video games. Some of those puzzles and things like that are really challenging. But, if you take the time and, put in the effort, you can overcome that. So, my goal isn't to have him sitting around playing video games all the time, but that's, something I think he can understand.
Right, maybe set a time limit to where you feel he's not spending so much time playing the video games.
Right, and I think that, the moral of the story there is, you put in the time to learn how to play the video games, and then you can also put in the work to, improve your reading and things like that. So, believe me, he's not on them constantly.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I would like to start off with some of my concerns for your son. I've noticed he is struggling with some of the sounds, such as CH, WH, ST, and BR.
Right.
I'm noticing, when he's blending the sounds, they're not going smoothly into the words. So I would like to try and work on them, work on that with him. And
Sure.
I also noticed, he has difficulty in sounds associated with the vowels, with the long vowel sound versus the short vowel sound. And I would like to, work with that with him also, because in second grade, there's a lot of group reading, we'll sometimes sit in a circle, and I don't want him to develop a low self-esteem if he's having problems with fluency in reading, so
Sure.
I definitely want him to have a high self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, is there anything that I need to be doing at home to help out? Specifically, I want to make sure we get ahead of this and that it doesn't become, a bigger issue.
Absolutely. I would suggest make reading fun, take turns. Let him read a paragraph and then let you read a paragraph, and, have him put some expression in his reading to where it's just not a dull sound. And then, give him some little mini rewards if, he'll do it with you on a regular basis, and it's not a struggle or a fight to try to get him to read. It'll help build their imagination, and I think that's great.
Okay, well, I can make that happen. I wish that we had more time at home. His father and I both work full-time jobs, so it's, there's never enough time, which is, it can be challenging, but we'll definitely make the time to do that. And, I want to make sure we do this because I want to avoid something like, summer tutoring or, summer school. As that comes up, I want him to be able to enjoy that free time and just, have fun.
Right, I understand your concerns with the summer, however, going into second grade is such a huge transition. I think he could benefit
Right.
from a little. And if summer school is totally out of the question, sometimes there are these enrichment camps
Yeah.
that include fun and some school, or you could pull like education.com that has
Right.
worksheets, but I would definitely not just cut off all reading during the summer, because I think he'll suffer tremendously.
Oh, tremendously. Oh,
Well,
my.
I mean, that would be for any
well-
student, because you can't just stop because he's just first starting how to read, so if he doesn't read for 3 months, then
Right.
he could lose everything that, he was taught for this year, and I would hate to see him struggle if other students, are participating in either some type of reading program or working on games, as you say, your son likes to play
Right.
some, video games. Maybe you can encourage him to play some of the reading games that, some of the programs have to offer on, on computers. Or hire
Okay.
a private tutor possibly, if you don't wanna go the avenue of summer school where he's in school for 3 or 4 hours
Right.
each day. There's so many different options that,
Right.
we can work together with and try to come up with a really good solution for you and your son.
Sure. I tried to get him into a special reading program this year actually, but there were, several kids on the waiting list ahead of him. So, I'm assuming that it just meant that their needs were greater than his. So I don't know. I do understand that something does need to be done. So, I'm open to the options.
Well, thank you. I apologize for your frustration with the waiting list. Unfortunately, it was a first come, first serve. And our goal for the future is to have more spots in place to where we can provide to all of our students that are struggling with comprehension, fluency,
Right.
and other subjects for that matter also.
Okay, no, I understand that, we'll make sure to be on top of it, next time, but I definitely want to make sure that this doesn't snowball into a bigger issue, so I hope we can work together to make that happen.
Absolutely, and I would love to meet with you again in about, say, 2 or 3 weeks. I could either call you
Okay.
or email you. That way we can start a plan to
Okay.
where, he builds on his comprehension skills and the consonant blends, the vowel blends. Because
Right.
he's a wonderful student and he's well liked
Thank
by
you.
everybody. So I will,
Good.
email you or call you, whichever you would prefer. I like to do it at your convenience.
Well, I think the easiest would be email, and, we can keep a dialogue, back and forth, we can touch base, maybe, I don't know, at least in the beginning here, maybe a couple of times a week.
Absolutely, yes.
Until we get a chance to meet in person again.
Absolutely, we'll, share a couple sentences back and forth with each other, and you can
Okay.
share your concerns, and, I will let you know how he's doing on a daily basis.
Okay, I appreciate that. I do want to stay on top of it.
Okay, great, well, thank you very much, it was very nice to meet you, and I will
You too.
start off with the journal log starting tomorrow, and
Okay.
I will email you in about 2 or 3 weeks.
That
And
sounds
we
great.
can
Well,
set up
thank
for
you
another
very
meeting.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
You too. It was very nice meeting you.
You too.
End scenario.